Philadelphia has some of the most disturbing shootings ever captured on surveillance. A normal conversation turns into gunfire. A robbery turns into a point-blank shooting. A woman gets chased by a masked gunman after a car drops him off. Then, on North 22nd Street, the whole block erupts with multiple shooters, ARP-style pistols, people running for cover, and one suspect limping away before tossing a Glock to somebody else in the middle of their escape. Some of this footage had to be cut down for YouTube, so make sure y'all check out TopTrendReportTV.com. I'm putting the full version on there with the extended clips and the deeper case breakdowns. Link is in the description. June 23rd, 2024, 4700 Griscombe Street. 22-year-old Anastasia Stangret was found deceased on Griscombe Street, but the surveillance tied to this case shows her final known movements before that discovery. The footage came from Penn and Arrett Streets in the Frankfurt section, showing her alive days earlier as investigators worked to build the timeline around where she was last seen and how long she had been missing. September 17, 2025, 276 West Sheldon Street. This clip starts off looking calm. A slim suspect with long braids is standing near a white vehicle. Then he reaches into his waistband, pulls a gun, and fires directly into the driver's side as the car speeds away. After the shots, he runs south on 3rd Street, with the white sneakers standing out as he disappears from the frame. September 14, 2025. 2099 Bridge Street. At Bridge Market, two suspects were seen walking past the store before the robbery. One had on a hoodie with a gold Narcos logo, while the other wore a Yale hoodie and appeared to be watching the door. Once they went inside, the gunman pulled a weapon and shot the clerk in the face at close range. The clerk survived and was listed in stable condition, but the footage showed how fast the robbery turned violent. September 8th, 2025, 7644 City Avenue. Inside the Wingstop on City Avenue, two males came into the restaurant before an argument reportedly started over marijuana use inside the store. As they were leaving, one of them turned back and fired a single shot into the business, striking a female employee. Police later pointed to the suspect's black hat with a K logo and the white sedan they used to leave the area. I can't show the full video on YouTube, so make sure you go to my website and check out the full and cut version of this. September 1st, 2025, 1529 Adams Avenue. On Adams Avenue, a 17-year-old was shot in the back after police responded to a person with a gun call. Surveillance showed the suspect nearby wearing a white t-shirt, light jeans, and white sneakers. The clip helped place him around the scene during the same window when the shooting happened. September 15th, 2025, 4800 North Lawrence Street. This one looked coordinated from the start. A black Nissan Juke pulled up near North Lawrence Street, and a masked gunman jumped out with a weapon. He chased a female victim up the block and fired 10 shots while she ran for her life. After that, he got right back into the same Nissan Juke, and the vehicle fled southbound on Roosevelt Boulevard. August 8th, 2025, 6100 Van Dyke Street. This footage came from inside a home during an early morning robbery. The suspect was seen moving through the residence wearing a black bubble jacket, shorts with 3 stripes down the right leg, black athletic shoes, and no socks. A male victim was shot and critically injured before the suspect ran toward the 4700 block of Devereaux Street. October 11th, 2025, 1700 block of Teasdale Street. On Teasdale Street in the Ronhurst section of Philadelphia, this case was a homicide from the start. Police said the shooting happened around 3:54 in the afternoon, directly across from Northeast High School, where 16-year-old Xavier Gregory was shot and later pronounced dead. An 18-year-old woman was also struck in the ankle and found at a nearby laundromat. The surveillance showed 2 suspects moving with a larger group of juveniles who may have been attending Northeast High School that day. One suspect wore a beige jacket over a black hoodie, and the other wore glasses with a blue hoodie while carrying a black bag. Police had already made at least 1 arrest in the case, but investigators still believe these 2 suspects were connected to the murder. March 22nd, 2026, 2000 North 22nd Street. This is where the video gets completely out of control. A large group is standing on the block like it is a regular day, and then all of a sudden, gunfire breaks out from different directions. Multiple people pull weapons. Shots start flying across the street, and the whole crowd scatters. Some of the weapons appear to be ARP-style pistols. People were ducking, running, and diving out of the way while the shooters kept firing. One suspect appeared to get hit in the leg and started limping away. But even while injured, he appeared to toss a Glock to another person during the escape. This is one of the main reasons I'm putting the full version on TopTrendReportTV.com. YouTube is only getting part of it, but the extended clip shows how crazy that block really got once the shooting started. What made it even stranger is that the injured suspect reportedly never checked into a local hospital. So even after being seen limping away on camera, investigators believed he may have been treated somewhere off the grid or helped by somebody after he left the scene. Don't forget to go check out TopTrendReportTV.com for the full version. I'm putting the longer clips, the case files, and the parts I couldn't fully show here on the site. The link is in the description. Philadelphia surveillance cameras captured these shootings from every angle imaginable. grocery stores, busy intersections, residential side streets, crowded summer gatherings. Some of the footage is too graphic to fully show on these platforms, so the full uncut versions are posted inside the surveillance archive on TopTrendReportTV.com. That's where you can watch the extended clips, see the parts that had to be cut down, and follow the deeper breakdowns behind each case. Here we're going through the moments caught on camera, but the full archive is on the site. Inside the archive, we don't just repost clips. We build full deep dives around these cases with murder reports, surveillance timelines, suspect breakdowns, crime scene footage, witness details, police documents, and exclusive case files that piece everything together step by step. Some of these investigations have hours of material behind them once you start digging deeper into the footage and paperwork. Right here on Ridge Avenue, look at this suspect walking into the grocery store carrying a handgun. I can't show the full thing right here, so make sure you go check out my website where this has the full uncut version. When the suspect suddenly swings the pistol across his head, watch the ceiling carefully right here. The gun accidentally discharges during the assault, firing a live round upward inside the building. That single mistake could have turned this robbery into a multiple homicide scene instantly. After the chaos, the suspect walks outside and calmly enters a silver Ford Crown Victoria before leaving the area. Now switch over to Torresdale Avenue at around 4:16 in the morning. Most people are asleep at this hour, but surveillance cameras are still rolling. Look closely at the shooter here. He's carrying a large black Nike backpack while moving through the block. The footage captures his face clearly enough to show the beard and mustache before the shooting even happens. Moments later, a 32-year-old man is left critically wounded after being shot in the abdomen. What stands out in this footage is how visible the suspect actually is. This is not grainy footage where you can barely make out a silhouette. I can't show the full video of this either, so make sure you go check out my website where this has the full uncut version. Then the video shifts into one of the deadliest scenes on this entire list, South Dyke Street. Look at the crowd gathered outside during this summer night gathering. People are standing shoulder to shoulder near the row homes when the shooter suddenly appears moving along the block. Then everything explodes at once. Gunfire erupts directly into the crowd, sending people running in every direction. 13 people were struck during this mass shooting. Zahir Wiley, Jason Reese, and Aziz Harris were killed. Aziz Harris was confined to a wheelchair when the bullets started flying. Now watch how different this next shooting feels. This one happens in the middle of the morning on West Louden Street. Cars are moving normally. People are outside. The neighborhood is active. Then suddenly, an 18-year-old male is targeted right in the middle of the day. The offender pulls out a weapon and fires before retreating quickly toward Old York Road. That's what makes these daytime shootings so crazy. There's no attempt to wait for darkness or isolation anymore. Everything happens while the city is fully awake. Then you get to the footage from 27th and Dickinson, and this almost looks military. Watch the three masked suspects arrive together. All three are armed with semi-automatic weapons. Then look how synchronized the attack is once the shooting starts. They all begin firing at nearly the same time, turning the entire intersection into chaos within seconds. 5 males between 18 and 23 years old were hit during this attack. The shooters move together, fire together, and flee together. It looks less like random violence and more like a planned ambush carried out by a coordinated group. There's some footage from inside a restaurant, and I definitely can't show that, so make sure you go check out the website. Now, look at this silver Nissan Rogue pulling up on Marsha Street. The vehicle stands out immediately in the footage as it rolls into position right before the ambush begins. two suspects wearing blue gloves and masks jump out almost instantly after the SUV stops. Then the shooting starts. Bullets begin flying toward a group standing nearby, leaving a 24-year-old Asian male critically wounded along with a 23-year-old black male. Watch how fast the suspects move here. They barely spent any time outside the vehicle before jumping back inside and speeding away. The footage from North 13th Street feels even more trapped. The victims are sitting inside a parked vehicle. There's nowhere to run, no time to react. The suspects fire straight through the windows, hitting both the 40-year-old woman and the 24-year-old male inside the car in the face and body. Glass shatters everywhere while the shooters immediately flee in a gray Toyota Camry, later recovered by investigators. This wasn't random crossfire. Then there's the Louden Avenue shooting. At first it just looks like an argument between a couple people standing outside during the late morning hours. But watch how quickly everything changes. The verbal dispute escalates, the suspects pull firearms, and suddenly the victim is hit in the chest and arm. One detail investigators focused heavily on was the clothing. One suspect wearing Under Armour gear, the other wearing New Balance clothing. Small details like that become major evidence once detectives start slowing down the footage frame by frame. Now go back to Torresdale Avenue again, because this next clip almost feels like a setup unfolding in real time. Watch the suspect wearing the Eagle shirt after the fight inside the business. Instead of leaving, he makes a phone call. Minutes later, a black Ford Crown Victoria arrives. Then another suspect steps out wearing a Jordan hoodie. Look at this part carefully. The man in the Eagle shirt literally points out the victim. The shooter pulls his mask down and immediately opens fire. I can't show the full video of this either, so make sure you go check out my website where this is the full uncut version. The entire thing plays out almost like an ordered hit caught directly on surveillance cameras. And then there's the Save a Lot shooting on Chew Avenue. This footage is probably one of the most disturbing on the list, because the suspects already had a chance to leave safely. Earlier, the female suspect had reportedly been disarmed by security, and both individuals were removed from the store, but they came back, watched the suspect with the salt and pepper beard walk calmly back inside. No panic, no hesitation. He approaches the 55-year-old store manager and shoots him point blank in the face before fleeing toward the Aubrey View apartments with the female suspect. Across every one of these cases, the footage captures the same terrifying reality. Arguments turning into shootings within seconds. Masked gunmen stepping out of vehicles already prepared to kill. Groups opening fire into crowds and intersections. Shooters walking calmly before violence erupts, then disappearing just as fast once the gunfire stops.